what's up guys? This is James from Team Ham, and I'm here to bring you an overdressed deck profile of Flagburg post set 4. So I just wanted to show you guys how the deck is doing post set 4 after many weeks and months of testing with it. It actually did really well these past few weekends at locals, so just wanted to bring it to you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So we'll start with the ride line. That hasn't changed. It's the 0, the 1, and the 2 for Flagburg. Well, I've tried using different ride lines. This has been working out for me. So we have the grade 1 over here that can be called out from Soul once he rides on him. And then we have the grade 2 that can be called out of Soul if you reveal Flagburg or the grade 1 in hand. And he's also the main restander, which we'll talk about later on. And yep, so go to the actual deck. So we'll start out with the grade 3s. We're still running the full Persona Ride package of Flagburg. I would not go any lower than that. This needs to be the extra 3 copies in the deck so you can hit that power threshold for your front row rear guards. As anyone who's played Flagburg or at least tried it out, they'll know that when you're swinging with your rear guards, you want to swing with them first because he'll be the last one. So that extra Persona Ride plus 10 is very much needed. And then for the other grade 3, for most people they'll already know, it's the Inlet Pulse right here. Very notoriously known for the Magnolia deck because they run this at 4. In Flagburg, I've liked it at 3. I've tried this guy out as a 4 of, but when I would try him at 4, he would always clog my hand, and being a deck that just wants to be early aggression, swing in as early as possible, having a bunch of these in your hand is just not helping. And also, he doesn't restand unless your opponent's already at grade 3, so in this deck, just running him as a 3 is nice so you can at least see it early on when possible. But as a 4 of, it's just been very cloggy. I know a good friend of mine, William, he runs this as a 4 of, he plays Flagburg as well. And we always go back and forth with it. But for me, as a 3 of, it's just been working. So that's the 3s. We go to the 2s. As I said earlier, we still run the 4 Ascendance Assaults. He is one of your main restanders on the rearguard circle along with Inlet Dragon. The rearguard on the other side attacks the opponent's vanguard. If your vanguard is Flagburg, you can counterblast to restand him. So he's one of your main multi-attackers in the deck, along with this grade 2 right here, the Aggress Blue Dragon. When he swings at a rear once per turn, if your vanguard is Flagburg, you can Soul Blast and restand. So him as a 4 of is also very necessary because you need as many multi-attackers as you possibly can. And being as a grade 2, you can use him as an intercept as well. And the other grade 2 I've been running in the deck that's been helping me out tremendously has been this Blooming Petal right here. I'm not even gonna try to say that name, guys. I'm really bad with names, so we're not gonna go for it. But we run this as a 3 of just for the Prison matchup. When I see this card against Prison, it makes me feel really good because if she's placed on rear, if you have no cards in Soul, you can Soul Charge 2. So you can give your opponent the 2 cards in Soul, the 2 cards from hand, 2 cards from field. If she's in your hand or from the field, you can give this to your opponent. And when you start calling cards from the Prison back to your field, you can Soul Blast maybe the 1 card you have left in your Soul, call this out, and then this will Soul Charge 2 more. So you can start using the Soul to superior call other units from the Prison. And I've actually found another use for her. I'll talk about it a little bit later. But as I was playing with another card in the deck, I found out that this card can potentially search for anything you want in the deck. I know it's a little hard to understand, but I'll go about it once I hit the grade 1s. But 3 has been working a lot for me. I highly recommend running this card in any Flagburg deck, just for the Prison matchup and also for the other card that I also run in the deck. So these are the 2s. And then for the grade 1s, obviously we still run the 4 PGs. You need these for guarding. And then we run 4 of the Prize Trident right here. Main counter charger, main Soul Charger in the deck, besides the grade 2 that we just talked about. Definitely run him as a 4 of. I tried running him as a 3 to get away with other techs. It always bit me back, so stick with this as 4. And then we run 2 of the Mantis right here. When placed on rear, you choose another rear guard and it gets +5. This really matters when you're setting up your board, especially when you have the Ascendance Assault or Aggress Blue. You can call him, give it to one of those so they can start swinging at the opponent's vanguard without needing the boost. So when they Restand, you boost with an 8K. They also hit for magic number of 23. So my friend William runs a few more of these in this deck. I've been working with 2. It's been working with me. If you want to run more, go for it. And then we also have the Order, the Spiritual Body Condensation right here, running as a 2 of. I know other decks run this as well. You Soul Blast 1, and then you get to call out any unit from your drop whose grade is less than or equal to your current Vanguard, and it gets +5. So you can use this to bring out, say, the Inlet Pulse, which is what most people do it for. In this deck, you can also use it to call out, say, your Agris Blue or your Ascendance Assault right here. But another use I found for this card was actually combining it with this Booming Petal right here. So as I was saying before, you could use this to potentially search for anything in your deck that you're missing. And say your opponent, you're looking for an inlet, right? You haven't seen it yet all game, but you have these 2 in your hand, and you have no cards in your soul because you did your multi-attack the turn before. You can call her out, soul charge 2, and then say if one of the cards you soul charge is the inlet you were looking for, then you can now play this to soul blast out that card to call it back out. So it's a little combination of the 2 cards that I found while playing with the deck that's surprisingly very effective, very consistent. My friend William, he liked it a lot when he saw me playing with these 2 cards in particular in the tournament this past weekend, so he said he might try it himself. So it's definitely a nice application to have, and I would recommend trying it out if you can in your decks. So, but we only run it as a 2 of this order for the reason, like I did with Inlet. This is a deck that's trying to be aggressive. You're trying to hit your opponent early and fast. And if you have too many of these cards in your deck, they can start clumping, especially since normal orders can only be played once a turn. Imagine having these 3 in your hand. You go, well, I only can play 1. These 2 are in my hand. They're dead right now, and I can't guard. I can't call these. I can't do anything. So 2 has been working for me, and I recommend it, leaving it at 2. And to round out the grade 1s, we run 1 of each of these. The 15K Kusi, and then the 1 extra Inroad. The 1 Kusi, we run it in here so that way we can make our Flagburg a 28K base. So in those instances where I have this guy, but I can't make the extra attacks to get that plus 10K for his effect, if I see this Kusi, I can call it. Now I'm Flagburg swinging 28 by himself. If I don't get the multi-attacks, always going to be pressuring for 28. The only way he's going to go away is if my opponent wastes the card to get rid of it. And then also, as I was saying earlier with the combo, if you're still looking for this and you're like, okay, I really want this in the back row, but I haven't seen it yet, maybe if I soul charge it with her, I can then play this after I soul charge it to call it back out to the field. So that way we can set up the board like that. I recommend this as a 1 of if you have the space for it. It's a really good booster. It makes Flagburg extra scary than it already is. And then we run the 1 Inroad Shooter, mainly just for the reveal target for the ride line. We also have it in here just for the to boost the inlet right here to make it a 23K column. And also if we see it early and I already have, like, say, a copy of this in my hands for the ride line, I can then just call this and rush with it. And then I can just do the ride line, the skill of revealing Flagburg to call out the 2. So I like it as a 1 of personally. I wouldn't want to run more than this 1 copy in my deck. But I've seen other people running 2 or 3 just to get that extra aggression in early on. Hey, if it works for you, go for it. No reason not to do it. For the trigger lineup, we run the 7 crits. I know a lot of decks are running 8 crits because they're trying to get in there and just end the game quick. But I've been working with the 7 crits for the reason that we run the 4 draw triggers. I value more seeing the pieces that I need to be able to get that 5 attacks. So I'd rather run the 4 draw triggers over the 8 crits. And that's really the only reason why. If you rather run 8 crit 3 draw, that's been working as well. For you, go for it. But this is the version I like. And then we have just the 4 heal triggers right here to go along with it. So those are the triggers right there. And then we finish it up with the great old over trigger of Stoicheia. God, it's beautiful. Look at that, guys. It's better than brain gain. Anyway, totally no hate. All right, well, that is the overdressed deck profile of Post Set 4 Flagburg. This deck build has been working really well for me, and hopefully it inspires some of you guys to try out the deck. It gives you some ideas to try out in your current Flagburg decks if you already have it. Hey, that means this video is worth making, guys. But like and subscribe if you like this type of content. If you want to make any comments at all, have any suggestions, please put them down on the YouTube video, all right? As we've always said in previous videos, Pepper loves reading the comments. I especially will be reading all the comments regarding this deck. I really love Flagburg, so any way to improve the deck at all, I am totally down to listen. But with that, I'll catch you later, guys. Take care.